Is anyone else stunned by any of what's going on in this Liberal government right now? Is anyone else stunned that they were caught in a conversation when they thought nobody was looking? I mean, the mainstream media is trying to avoid this story as best they can. So for us, why don't we talk about it here? It's an absolute bombshell that came out yesterday, but we really have to take a look at what Gary Anandasangaree has done here, what he has said here as part of this recording. He's Canada's so-called public safety minister, and the guy is running the Liberals' infamous gun buyback program. But he was caught yesterday on tape admitting the whole thing is a sham. He says that it won't work. He actually said that to his renter. He says Mark Carney told him to do it. And worst of all, he admits that the main goal is to buy votes from Quebecers. Let me repeat all of this. And I can't even, let me repeat it. Okay. The entire gun buyback, the whole thing, the entire gun buyback program. Something this government has been screaming from the rooftops about. Something they told Canadians was about protecting all of our safety as a whole, protecting families and making our streets safer is nothing more than a political bribe. The man says he wouldn't even do it this way. He says that if it were up to him, he would have done it differently than Mark Carney has mandated him to do it. But it's not up to him, of course. It was up to Mark Carney. So that tells you everything. These aren't policies being made to solve your problems, Canada. They're being made to win seats. I mean, let's go.
Welcome to Bakes on Things.
David Akin has listened to the recording. David, what does the minister say on it?
Well, this recording, Donna, was made by a tenant of a property that Public Safety Minister Gary Anandasangaree owns in Toronto. The tenant had called Anandasangaree about a landlord-tenant issue, but then the tenant says Anandasangaree brought up the government's gun control plan.
I'm going to tell you something else. You may not be happy with. We're launching a gun buyback plan.
Anandasangaree and his tenant have known each other for a while. The tenant legally owns an assault rifle that will soon be banned by Ottawa. Ottawa expects gun owners to sell their freshly banned guns to the government. The tenant says he does not want to sell, and in the recording he provided to Global News and others, he tries to convince Anandasangaree to scrap the policy. Anandasangaree says he cannot.
This is the mandate I was given by Carney to complete this.
He says one of the reasons the Liberals cannot change, they need votes from Quebec.
Right, and this is something that very much a big deal for many of the Quebec electorate that voted for us.
And then he tells his tenant he would have done things differently.
If I were to redo this from scratch, right, I would have a very different approach to this.
The Conservatives, who have long opposed this gun buyback program, saying it unfairly targets legal gun owners, hammered Anandasangaree.
The minister said that his gun grab won't work. Why is it that Liberals only tell the truth when they don't think anyone is listening?
My comments were misguided.
After that concession, though, Anandasangaree defended the policy.
It's important to have the program in place is what Canadians are looking for.
And in that tape, Anandasangaree said the gun buyback pilot program will start as early as tomorrow. Donna.
All right, David Akin in Ottawa. Thanks.
Welcome back to Bakes on Things. It is the last word. I hope you had a great Tuesday. Don't forget to like, subscribe, of course, share your thoughts and your opinions down below in the comments. And of course, you can hype this video as well. Here's where it gets darker, I guess. The Liberals only ever tell the truth when they think no one is watching. This isn't an isolated slip. Pierre Poilievre said that same phrase yesterday. I mean, this is becoming Liberal DNA. Whether it's carbon taxes that were supposed to save the planet but ended up being a cash grab for the government, or trade trips that cost millions of dollars and dump tons of carbon in Mr. Net Zero's atmosphere but deliver absolutely nothing, or immigration levels that nobody voted for but Carney keeps shoving down our throats, the truth only comes out in hot mic moments, leaked memos, or offhand comments made by his own team. Pierre Poilievre nailed this yesterday in the House of Commons, but unfortunately Mark Carney wasn't there to see it. When he said that the Liberals lie in public and tell the truth in private, it's exactly what they do. It's what Mark Carney is likely doing right now at the UN meetings. And do you know why? Because the Liberal base, their voter coalition, is not actually built on trust. They built that entire Liberal base via manipulation. That's what they did. They manipulated uninformed voters into voting for them. And if you don't think they're uninformed, just look at the comments they make down below. None of them are backed in arguments, none of them are backed in facts, and none of them are backed in research. You know, most people will tell you that this scandal proves the Liberals are dishonest or corrupt or elitist. That's true. But here's what almost nobody is saying about this scandal and why we wanted to cover it as part of the last word today. If a government will lie about guns, they'll lie about anything. Think about that. Guns are life and death for people. They're safety. They're about who has the right to protect their family in their own home. If you'll fake an entire billion-dollar buyback program just to fish for votes out of one province, what won't you fake? Will you fake economic numbers? A budget's coming up, isn't it? That's going to be interesting. Will you fake immigration statistics? Will you fake climate data? Well, you did that anyway for the carbon tax. Will you fake diplomatic agreements? Well, we've kind of seen that already as well. Once you realize that the buyback program was a giant campaign poster that was dressed up as a policy, suddenly the rest of everything else the Liberals do as part of their platform looks pretty much just as hollow as this. This isn't about guns anymore. It's about whether Canadians can even trust their government. Think about this. I mean, can Canadians trust their government to say anything that isn't prepackaged for votes now? I mean, this is really big. The fact that the mainstream media is avoiding this story altogether is disgusting. Because, spoiler alert, we can't trust them. And why do they keep playing the Quebec card? Well, I'll tell you why. Because Quebec votes Liberal. So let's talk about Quebec for a second. And Quebecers, look, we all love you. Conservatives, Liberals, we all love Quebec. But here's the thing. The Liberals are currently admitting out loud that they're playing you for votes. They're admitting out loud what everyone else tiptoes around, that they treat Quebec like the only province that matters to them. Carney and his crew will spend billions of your tax dollars to bribe Quebec voters with a gun policy, while the west of this country gets ignored. Get it? The west of this country. It was bad. It was bad. But it's true. The west gets ignored. Atlantic provinces get the scraps and somehow still vote Liberal anyway, and they know that. Then Ontario gets lectured, but also still votes Liberal. So that's not national unity. That's vote buying with a tricolor bow on it. Imagine being a farmer in Saskatchewan, watching Ottawa blow up your hunting rifle collection while handing checks over to the Quebecers to keep Carney in power. Because that's exactly what they're doing with this. His own MP admitted it. His own Minister of Safety admitted that that's what they're doing. That isn't just insulting. It's extremely dangerous for the future of this entire country. Extremely dangerous. And this is something that I just can't wrap my head around. I mean, what makes this scandal epic is that it reveals the great Liberal secret that I think is not a well-kept secret anymore. There's no actual Liberal philosophy whatsoever. I mean, we saw it when they copied all the working conservative philosophies for the election. There is no philosophy. There's no vision. There's no actual Liberal plan. Just a string of photo ops, polls, and focus groups that determine who's going to vote for what. Anandasangaree basically said the quiet part out loud yesterday, that the buyback isn't about safety. It's about seats in the House of Commons. That's the whole Liberal playbook in just one sentence. And Mark Carney, Well, the great economic genius who must have put together all of these policies for us to save the economy, right? The globalist savior? Well, it turns out he's just another backroom dealer telling his ministers, don't worry. If it doesn't work, just make sure it wins us votes. I mean, are liberals even listening to this at this point? Why can't liberals start to see what's truly going on here? Why can't they see what is truly the takeaway as part of all of this? Here's my message to all Canadians, not just liberals, because I think we all have to take heed in this very moment about this very scandal that's pretty much being ignored except by the conservatives. If you're shocked by this, don't just be angry about the gun program. Be angry about everything they do, because if the lies are in here, they're everywhere. Because this is the proof we've been waiting for, that the Liberals don't govern for Canada. They govern for themselves and their future in the House of Commons. We saw it with the Donald Trump derangement syndrome. Okay. We saw the creation of an enemy that wasn't there. Yes, he put tariffs on us, but he put tariffs on everybody. They lied about guns, they lied about safety, and now we know they're lying about the economy, about immigration, about foreign policy, about everything. Because why wouldn't they be? If they're lying about guns, they're lying about everything. If you only tell the truth when you think no one is watching, you don't deserve to govern a country. Period. Period. That's it. Bottom line. And there's no reason, I mean zero reason, to trust this government any longer. Because Gary Anandasangaree just ripped the mask off of Mark Carney's government. The buyback program is a scam. Carney is running the government like a con artist. And the Liberals are proving that Pierre Poilievre is right every single day. They don't just lie to us. They don't just lie to all Canadians. Lying is now part of their DNA. And that is something that every single one of you should be terrified of. Have yourselves a great night. Thanks for watching both shows today. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and we will see you tomorrow on The First Sip. Have a great night, everybody. Go Jays, go.